You spend 8 years focusing deeply on a problem, trying to solve it, working night and day, you're going to accumulate 10,000 hours in 8 years, and it's going to lead to something amazing.
Sounds promising, right? All we need to do is count down the hours for whatever we are trying to achieve. Maybe it's mastering a new language or getting your first client for a new business, and we will be on our way, surely. Well, not really. In this video, we will uncover the real meaning of the idea of 10,000 hours as described by author Robert Greene, and why you need to put the hours in, but not how you think you should. This is the development zone. We research, learn, and educate on topics around self-development. So if you get value out of this video, hit the like and subscribe button. Anyways, time to get into it.
I don't know how many of you know the 10,000 hours. It's an amazing to study. Very briefly, if there's anybody who hasn't heard of it, a man named Anders Ericsson studied people who did chess and music very closely, and he discovered pretty magically at that close to that 10,000 hour mark of practice and experience. So for chess, that means all the hours of practice, reading about chess, and playing games. After 10,000 hours of experience, people reach another level. Something has happened to the brain. They're become grandmasters. It doesn't happen at 8,000 or 9,000. It can happen at 9,950 or something like that, but pretty close there. That is really interesting. And so he's found the same thing in music, and then he goes back and he finds that in other areas, like in sports, etc. So that means that at that mark, the structure of the brain has physically altered. And I can explain that, and he can explain that as well, why that happens. But the point isn't merely counting the numbers. That's the problem people have. They think, oh, wow, if I just had 10,000 hours, I'm going to be Einstein or Steve Jobs. No, it's not that. It doesn't work like that. It's not just the number of hours, it's the quality of the hours. So number one, it's the intensity. If you spend 8 years focusing deeply on a problem, trying to solve it, working night and day, you're going to accumulate 10,000 hours in 8 years, and it's going to lead to something amazing. If it's spread over 30 years where you're just tinkering on the weekends, nothing's going to happen. It needs an intensity of time, because intensity of time is almost like a mathematical formula. Those connections that happen in the brain at 10,000 hours, they're going to start happening really quickly. Whereas if it's spread out over time, you don't have all of that energy. You forget things. They slip from your memory, from your long-term memory. So it has to be intense, and there has to be other things like what's known as deliberate practice, which means we tend to practice those things that we're the best at. So let's say we play the piano, and we're really good at playing Baroque music and Bach. We'll tend to just keep playing that because it gets easy and it seems fun. Whereas the things that we don't like, we don't practice, whichever that would be. So our skill becomes very lopsided, right? And a person, the 10,000 hours, you have to practice the things that you're not good at. So you can develop a really well-rounded skill. Because if you sit there and simply repeat things that you're already good at, that doesn't count for the 10,000 hours, I'm sorry. So the quality matters and the intensity matters, and then that will make that 10,000 hours really important. As a manager, you know, that's the art of dealing with people. I mean, there are other things involved, but it's a skill in how you motivate people, how you get people to work together, how you get rid of people who are malcontents. That's the art. It's the art of dealing with people. And I don't think there are really any books that are going to break you to that other level. They're books that can help you, but the most important thing is the experience, the day-to-day experience of managing people and seeing what works, because every group that you deal with is different. There's never the same group twice. It's like a chemistry thing, where the 8 people that you worked with 4 years ago and now you have 8 new people, it's just not the same.
In conclusion, Robert Greene has shown us what the idea of 10,000 hours entails, but it is not a one-size-fits-all solution to mastering a skill. While practice is important, it is not the only factor in achieving expertise. Deliberate practice is crucial to improving skills and avoiding burnout. Additionally, the amount of time it takes to master a skill can vary depending on the individual and the complexity of the skill. Therefore, it is important to focus on quality practice, or as Robert also described it, as the intensity of time. If you got value out of this video, click the like button and subscribe. The Development Zone will see you in the next video.